There are a ton of different lid systems out there. What we'll do first is we'll just talk about the lid system where the actual part that holds the lid is part of the pot. It's called gallery on the pot. So basically, it doesn't really matter whether you have like a roundish pot. So you're throwing this thing on the wheel head, and as you come up here, you're leaving a lot of clay up at the top, right? So this is the cross section, as if you cut the pot in half. And then what you would do is you would kind of make a separation here. All right. So basically you have a rim and then you have this thing called a gallery. All right. So this, where it turns into kind of a double thing here, this is the gallery. All right. This little overhang on the inside. Now what that allows you to do is you can throw a lid flat on the wheel, a flat lid even, and you can throw the knob right as you're throwing the lid. All right, so the knob could be shaped however you kind of want it. So all this gets thrown right on the wheel in one piece. Now, as that gets bigger and wider, of course, this lid, you might have to throw it upside down like a bowl because it's going to need some curve, right, to support. And then you would trim it all the way clean, and then you would attach a knob at a later time. Or if you throw it on a small chunk of clay, when you turn it over to trim it, you could trim out a knob. All right, so that's what the flange on the form. So this can, or excuse me, the gallery on the form, this can look a lot of different ways. You know, if you're making a cylinder, right, you would leave this little bit of clay on the inside that the lid would then sit on. There's also a bunch of different varieties. You can do this lid that's kind of called like a sunken lid, where it's like that. All right, so it kind of sits down in a little bit more. All right, that's nice on something that doesn't have a big rim, so that it doesn't stick up too much. Okay, so that can also be thrown right on the wheel head as well. And it just kind of dips down inside of this gallery. You want to keep all these edges nice and round, not sharp. Okay. All right. So that's all. These are our gallery on the pot. The other thing too is, like, for example, a butter dish or something. Right. These little bumps. And then you throw an upside down bowl, right? Or you turn the bowl upside down after you throw it, and then you can add a knob to it, and that becomes your lid. And this gets into it, what we start talking about as a flange. Now this is a flange on the butter dish, and so it's kind of like having a gallery on a pot. But if you were to flip this upside down, this will be the next lid that we're talking about, a flange lid. One of the best books that talks about lids is the Cushing Handbook. Great resource for people who are into ceramics. You need to call the Alfred Pharmacy at this phone number, and they will mail you one. I think it's somewhere around $30 with shipping. It's a really good handbook. He's got all these illustrations that talk about different kinds of lids. All right.